So from some of our older competitors, we go right to the other end of the spectrum to the junior SM90s who make their way out onto the Three Sisters circuit for their formation lap, just to run through the grid from the morning qualifying session. And setting pole position with a very impressive 109.338 was Harley McCabe. Zach Weston in second place. Ty Collymore in third from George Bowes. Daniel Stevenson, Ty Butler rounding out the top six. It was Joseph Bond in second. And we saw a Mostica in the previous race, and Joseph Mostica in 8th position in this one in the qualifying. George Wood and Mason Greasley rounding out the top 10. Ruby Booth, 11th place. Billy Carter in 12th. And the riders now making their way around the second half of this Three Sisters circuit back towards us, with Jordan Thomas, who did not set a time in qualifying, currently in 13th position. So here we are, British mini bikes here at Three Sisters in Lancashire, just on the outskirts of Wigan. Don't forget, of course, you can watch the racing not only on the British mini bikes Facebook page, but also on YouTube, where you can watch it in 1080 in full screen on your television screen. Some shout outs here for Billy Carter from Laurie Maysfield, and a couple of shout outs earlier on, of course, for Preston Ward, who we saw motos ago, as junior SM90 gets underway. Oh, and a good start from Zach Weston there. I wonder if he's held on to take the lead.
He has indeed. He rounds paddock and heads towards the valley. In first place, Harley McCabe there, losing out off the line. We believe Tyler Collymore has held third place. Can't quite see from this camera angle, but we'll confirm that as soon as possible.
Harley McCabe a little bit too aggressive off the line there. We saw the front end looping up on. He had to back off to get that front wheel down, which was enough to get Zach Weston in front. As we see, well, that's Daniel Stevenson with a good start there. Ty Butler also involved. And it looks to me like Harley McCabe, after that difficult start, is fighting back. I mean, look, round the outside as they make their way up Conrod Straight for the first time. Oh, but he hasn't quite got the track there. Zach Weston holds the inside line and keeps the lead as they make their way up to the top corner. Ty Collymore also well placed, going up towards Coward Summit now, and Joey Dunlop corner. I think the camera angles give you an idea. It's pretty quick here, coming down towards Joey Dunlop corner for the first time. And again, having a peek around the outside, but not close enough. Here we go, though. Fight to the line, though, on the end of this first lap.
Yes, Zach Weston showing as our race leader on the timing. Harley McCabe, second place, as you can see on screen. Tayo Collymore, not too far behind them either. These three are the top three in the battle for the championship, although they are somewhat out of order. Harley McCabe currently leads the championship. Tayo Collymore is in second, and our race leader Zach Weston is in third.
At the moment, it looks to me like Weston is a bit slower than McCabe and Collymore, because they are starting to bunch up in second and third. Although catching up is one thing, getting past can be another sometimes. And again, really aggressive on the outside there from Harley McCabe, but he can't find a way through. And Tayo Collymore in third. You just see him, dark coloured machine in third, with the red leathers just shadowing and trying to get involved in this battle for the lead. George Bowes a little bit further behind in fourth place. Daniel Stevenson and Ty Butler, as round the outside goes Harley McCabe and makes the pass stick, takes the lead.
Fantastic riding from McCabe. He's had a fantastic season and looks to be carrying on here.
Collymore now starting to have a look in third position. And I think at the moment, Collymore, who sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:10.989, definitely matching McCabe for pace, but the fast starting Zach Weston will not give that second place up lightly, and he's no slouch as well. But I think Collymore's looking quick, and he wants to try and get involved with that battle for the lead with Harley McCabe as they make their way towards Luna Bend. And down Rogerton Straight they go, in towards that's the more technical part of the track, of course. Now they are back on the power through Luna Bend And down Conrod Straight with Harley McCabe leading the way and actually starting to pull away somewhat from Zach Weston.
Yes, a bit of a gap as we see our championship leader become the race leader. Zach Weston will be hoping to hold off Tayo Cullimore, his championship contender, for second.
Good to see actually Tayo Cullimore starting to, he was a decent enough young rider before, but now making inroads in the championship, and he's really developed, doesn't he?
Absolutely, both him and his brother Chase been riding fantastically here.
Harley McCabe looking strong here with 108.697, starting to pull away a bit now as we see round Joey Dunlop corner. This the battle with Daniel Stevenson, Ty Butler also a little bit further behind. Thomas Bond, 54, gets through into 6th place. And then a bit further behind, the 27 of Joseph Mostiger goes through. Mason Greasley, George Wood, Ruby Booth and Billy Carter rounding up the field in 12th position.
Am I right in thinking I saw Ruby Booth's name come up at the back of the grid for the previous race?
Possibly.
I was wondering what was going on there, because Ruby's a regular for this class and very much not a veteran rider. I mean, she's got experience, but she's somewhat differing in age to the rest of that class.
She walked past the timing loop, or near the timing loop at the wrong time. We do see some random people turn up in these races
Something like
sometimes.
that, yeah.
So here we see the number 54 of Thomas Bond, who's looking strong actually. He's picking up the pace. He's got past Ty Butler up to 5th place. Daniel Stevenson just going over Penrith Climb towards Coward Summit ahead of him. As Harvey McCabe goes charging through. So I think that Thomas Bond in 6th place could be on a late charge. He's picking up the pace because he has left Ty Butler behind.
Back up the front, Cullimore dives to the inside of the valley and takes Zach Weston. Weston's coming back at him through the S's. I'm not sure if we can pick it up on the screens or not.
We're live now with it.
But yes, Weston has come back. Got the cut back on Tayo Cullimore, who did have the better of him into the left-handed hairpin of the valley. They come through Luna now. They are neck and neck. Only a 10th of a second separating them across the line. Let's see what happens this time round.
Cullimore a bit neater on the exit there, down the inside, but can't get down the inside of Zach Weston. Weston in the middle of the track here because Collimore's got a run, heading up towards the hill. Oh, and a great little move there from Tayo Cullimore down the inside of Zach Weston. I don't think Weston was expecting him there on the apex and had to give way. Fantastic move there from Tayo Cullimore. And I think really catching Zach Weston out there because he just moved to one side to let him through almost out of surprise and can't fight back at the moment.
Yes, and as you said, the surprise to knock him a bit, and I think Zach Weston lost a bit of time for that, but he's back on Collimore's tail now, going into the valley, and a great line through there. He had such a better line. Just swept at the inside of him.
Cullimore, I think, he's trying to fight back coming down from Rochester Straight towards the, got the S's coming through there, going through there now towards Rochester Straight. And sometimes you get in bike racing where it's almost can be a disadvantage to get in front too early because you're giving your lines away sometimes. If you've got a good line, sometimes it's better to hang back there, but I wonder if Cullimore made a mistake going into the valley maybe because he just seemed very ragged on the exit of the corner.
That's what I thought. He didn't look like he got it particularly wrong, but then Zach Weston must have got it particularly right because he swept at the inside.
He's not short of confidence going into that corner leading up to the end of climb because Cullimore very aggressive down the inside again, but not close enough to go for the pass.
As they come around now across the start-finish line, sadly there's only 3 laps of this remaining. Could go either way.
Harley McCabe, number 7, clear at the front. He got the jump on the second place rider Zach Weston early on, and Weston coming under a lot of pressure from Cullimore, who has a look down the inside. Oh, and he squeezes through now. He's got to block Weston on the exit, which he fails to do. And Weston could fight back, but he hasn't got the line as they go into the S's. And it looks like Cullimore has made the pass stick.
Yeah, that's the 3rd lap in a row. These two switch positions at the valley. So one worth keeping an eye on next time round.
Some good racecraft from these two riders as well. They're not afraid to put the front wheel in where it matters as well, as we see Weston, who's trying to repeat the trick that Cullimore was doing earlier on. Now they go down towards the end of the climb. The back marker on the racing line though, so they'll have to hold station as they go around the slower rider. down towards the Joey Dunlop corner, last corner of this Three Sisters circuit. But Collymore had a good line then. It looks like he's pulled away slightly.
Yes, this might be the first time in 4 laps they don't switch at the Valley. 2 remain of this run. Harley McCabe out in front by 7.5 seconds. Yes, Weston does look too far behind to make something happen.
Making out the rest of the top 10, George Bowes, Daniel Stevenson, Thomas Bond, Ty Butler, Joseph Mostica, Mason Greasley and George Wood, as Zach Weston starts to regroup. Here we see the 28 machine. He's coming down the back straight.
That's Mason Greasley.
Greasley, no, that should be George Wood behind. A little battle on the edge of the top 10.
Wood significantly closer than he was going over the line last time round. He was a second and a half behind then. Looks to be nothing less than half a second now.
1.5 laps to go in this race for Harley McCabe, who we just saw charging down Conrod Straight for the penultimate time. Still, Teo Collimore's got that second place clear from Zach Weston. And this battle on the edge of the top 10 still pretty close as the 86 is charging through Ruby Booth in 11th place. Lap down at the moment. Billy Carter rounding out the field.
Harley McCabe comes across the line to start the last lap of the race. The last lap board is showing. Collymore has just seen it, as has Weston, who's right behind him. Hopefully we'll pick up that battle again before the end of the race. In fact, there we go.
Looks like Weston is having a late rally here to try and go down the inside of Collymore. Had the line covered. They make their way along the valley and towards the S's now. Collymore nice and neat on the apex of the corner, getting that absolutely perfect. And pulls away slightly from Weston, of course. Harley McCabe is clear and down Conrod Straight for the final time. But some good riding there from Ty Collymore, very neat through the S's, and it's done enough to hold off Zach Weston for now.
Yes, he's done exactly what he had to do there through the S's, absolutely nailed it and built up a bit of a gap. We'll cut back to Harley McCabe, who's coming up over Coward Summit into Joey Dunlop corner and should be taking the checkered flag. In fact, yes, he rounds the last corner now, and Harley McCabe takes the first victory of the day in our Junior SM 90s. Round the last corner comes Tyo Collymore for second place. Zach Weston moments behind him. In fact, 0.193 seconds separates those two at the end. Great racing from them both.
So Three Sisters looking good in the afternoon sunshine. And this track, I would say it's very fast circuit, of course, and good to see that it's had some good investment, actually. Familiar name in the world of karting, Bill Sisley, who was instrumental in a lot of the careers of the British Formula One drivers, notably Johnny Herbert. And he was down south of Buckmore Park and sunk a lot of money into this Three Sisters circuit, which was in danger of being lost to redevelopment. And you have to say, a lot of money's gone into this track, and it's really paying off. It's a fantastic looking circuit nowadays. Really befits its history and well-renowned circuit. So good to see the Three Sisters is getting some of the love that it deserves.
And it's hosted some fantastic mini bike racing already this year. Two of our spectators there sat up on the bank, showcasing how sunny it is today.
They were down here nice and early, those two guys. I think they've been out on their bikes for the day. They're enjoying the sun.
Confirmation of the result then. Harley McCabe finishes in first place. Tyo Collymore just edges out Zach Weston for second. George Bowes, Daniel Stevenson and Thomas Bond for 5th and 6th. Ty Butler is in 7th. Joseph Mostica just saw his dad out there winning a race, finishes in 8th himself. Mason Greasley 9th. George Wood 10th. Ruby Booth 11th. Billy Carter 12th. We're going to have a quick look at some of the action in that race. Here is the early battle for the lead. Zach Weston had a great start, but Harley McCabe was on his tail from the beginning. And this, I believe, was the moment where McCabe took the lead. Tyo Collymore then challenges Weston for second place. These two had a great race-long battle. Up the inside there goes Collymore. They had 3 laps in a row where they changed position at the Valley before Collymore finally got the better of Weston.
Hello and welcome to Funbikes TV. My name is MJ and today I'm going to introduce you to the M2R 90R Mini Supermoto pit bike. This is the Supermoto race version of the 90R Mini pit bike, which you can find out more information by visiting funbikes.co.uk or by following the link below. Currently raced in the Bambino class in the British Mini Dirt Bike series. It's fitted with all the essentials for this format. Alloy reinforced handguards, crash bobbins, mag wheels, oil catch tank and a gripper seat to list a few of the essential features on this bike. The bike is kickstart only, no battery or electric motor to save on weight. It features a 4-speed race pattern gearbox which is semi-automatic without the clutch. The bike is super tough, designed to be raced and ridden hard. It is built to take it all. This has been a short review for the 90R Supermoto, which you can order now from funbikes.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching and let the fun begin.
Next, the Funbikes M2R.
So here we are picking up the lineup, race number 2 for the JuniorSM 90 machines. Brought to you, of course, in association with M2R Racing. Thanks, of course, to Tony's Barbecue, Gloucester Bike Specialist, Funbikes, South Coast Honda, and our sponsors of British Mini Bikes for 2018. Running to the grid now, Harley McCabe was the fastest qualifier from Zach Weston, Ty Collymore in 3rd position, George Bowes in 4th, Daniel Stevenson and Ty Butler lining up 5th and 6th. Thomas Bond in 7th, and Mostica Jr., Joseph Mostica, in 8th place, with his dad, of course, running well in the vets. George Wood in 9th, Mason Greasley rounding out the top 10 in the morning qualifying session. And now, of course, the second and final race for these riders. They make their way down Conrod Straight and back to the grid. And looking a little bit further down the field, we have Ruby Booth in 11th place, Billy Carter in 12th, and with no time in qualifying, rounding out the field is Jordan Thomas in 13th position. So race number 2 getting underway very shortly. And of course, Jacob, you've been following this series in a lot more detail this year. The championship, of course, is still relatively close. Of course, even Belford was looking strong as well this year as well, but we are really at a vital time in terms of the championship.
Yes, we are at the business end of the season, as we should say. Harley McCabe is... sorry, I've completely forgotten what I was about to say there, Chris. Let's move on to Zach Shelton. Zach Shelton is at the top of the 140s. He's closely followed by Chase Collymore, up.
Oh, it's a Ty Collymore, this one, isn't
This
it?
is the S90s.
So,
excuse me. Ty Collymore is the second. Harley McCabe is the championship leader. That's what I'm saying. Off the line he goes. Stuck there. That's number 67, George Bowes. But yes, McCabe, our championship leader, heads the field.
Good start there. He lost the front slightly, reared up on him a bit, but I don't think he's lost any time. So it's the 67 was got lost on the start line there, but everyone else getting away well. And that looks like Ty Butler with a good start there as well. Harvey McCabe, Zach Weston also well placed. So our big names in this race all getting away well. But McCabe means business. He's going through Luna for the first time, heading towards Conrod Straight, and he's already got a jump on the field. There's the battle for second, which we think is, that's Zach Weston, but that looks like Ty Collymore in 3rd, Ty Butler and Thomas Bond a little bit further behind. They go charging down Conrod for the first time, and Harley McCabe with a great jump on the field, already leading him over the crest of the hill and down towards Joey Dunlop corner to complete the first lap.
Yep, coming over the start-finish straight just about now. We have Harley McCabe. He set a lap time of 1 minute 10.9. Zach Weston just the second and a half behind him. Ty Collymore follows him by just 0.3 of a second. Ty Butler's in 4th, Dan Stevenson 5th, Tom Bond 6th, Joe Mostica 7th, 8th is George Wood, Ruby Booth is 9th, and Mason Greasley in 10th.
Good start there for Daniel Stevenson, at number 11 in 5th place, getting past Thomas Bond. Joseph Mostica also well placed. And here we see the battle for second as Ty Collymore has a look down the inside. Oh, Zach Weston, I don't think he was expecting him there. He left an awfully big gap. And Collymore taking advantage, but Western fighting back as they go down Conrod Straight. McCabe clear at the front, but here's the battle for second. Great line there to recover that second place from Western. Collymore can't do anything about it there. So I think it was a small mistake there from Western. He did leave a big gap going into the corner for Collymore to get through. But great riding there. He's immediately fought back and holds on to second as Collymore looks quick going into Joe Dunlop corner, but not close enough to get that second place. And Western remains in second place. Harley McCabe, still your race leader.
Let's expect these two to battle throughout the race. Western and Collymore were close together earlier, and they will be close together again late this afternoon.
Ty Butler having trouble there. He's dropped a couple of positions. Daniel Stevenson continuing his charge through the field. He's up to 4th place now from Thomas Bond. Joseph Mostiger goes through in 7th place. 8th for George Wood. And then the pack starts to spread out somewhat as the battle still going on with the Ruby Booth, Mason Greasley, George Bowes going through up to 11th place now. And Billy Carter just a little bit further behind. Collymore, though, looking strong through Luna Corner. And Western is going to have to be good on his lines here to go down Conrod Straight, but he's good jump down the straight there. Collymore trying to close up, but Western with a good line there to hold on to that second place.
Yes, Collymore currently heads Western in the championship standings. Collymore in second, Western in third. So this can only be good for Western. Harley McCabe out in front of this race and out in front of the championship.
Here a little bit further back, this looks like, I think it's the 10, possibly 28 there. That's Mason Greasley, so Ruby Booth possibly down the inside there. Greasley having a look as they go for the pass. That's the 86 there of Ruby Booth. And this is the battle for 9th position, side by side down Conrod Straight, but it looks to me like Greasley has got the line and holds on to that position. We just saw George Bowes going through in 11th place. Bowes, of course, he stalled the bike on the start, didn't he? He lost a lot of time, so he's trying to play catch-up here. And looking at the previous lap, he is starting to make inroads into the top 10.
As Collymore goes up the inside of Western into Luna, he takes second place.
Collymore has a quick glance over the shoulder, looks to guard that position, but Western fighting back here.
Going to be a drag race up the hill.
And Collymore, has he done enough to guard that line? Yes, he has. Western not really close enough to go for the pass there, but this race is still finely poised. Great news, of course, for Harley McCabe, who is clearing away at the front. We'll keep an eye further down the field on George Bowes, who's made his way into the top 10. But Collymore, with a good line into Joe Dunlop corner, maintains that gap. But Western refuses to give up in 3rd place with 3 laps to go.
It's going to be 3 exciting laps. Don't write off Western just yet. I'm sure he's going to have another go at Collymore.
And you see them squeezing every ounce of power out of those machines as they head down towards Valley and up towards the S's. A bit further back here, we see the battle between Daniel Stevenson and Thomas Bond. It looks like it's still Stevenson in 4th, the number 11. There he is. Bond right in his tail, number 54. They make their way down towards the S's. And still pretty closely poised. Ty Butler, Joseph Mostiger goes through in 7th. George Wood and the hard-charging George Bowes still in 9th place. Right on the tail of Wood, though, only is about a second or so in it. Here we see the 54 of Thomas Bond trying to get back onto terms with Daniel Stevenson, who's had a good race so far, clear now in 4th place. But Bond certainly not giving up as they make their way down Conrod Straight.
This looks like a good traction out of that corner, gets the inside here and takes the place.
Good work there as Harley McCabe crosses the line with 2 laps to go. Let's see if Thomas Bond has held on. Tyo Collymore goes through in 2nd, just ahead of Zach Weston. Here's the battle of 4th, coming round Joe Dunlop corner. 2 laps to go for these 2 riders. And it looks to me like Thomas Bond has got a good jump here on that previous lap. He's found some good lines and is pulling away now again from Daniel Stevenson, who was strong at the start of the race. But Bond certainly seems to be closing this final race high in this SM90 second race of the day. You can see that they're really working the machines hard to get back onto power out of that slow corner into Valley.
Yes, Western this time a little bit further back. There's over a half-second gap for, I think, the first time this race, actually, as we picked the two of them up and then back straight. Collymore has a little bit of a comfort zone to Weston as they come out of the final corner onto the last lap. Here they are now coming down the hill.
George Bowes incidentally up to 8th place after that bad start, but barring any disaster for anyone in front of me, I think that's about as far as he'll go as we go into the final lap. And Harley McCabe, number 7, has done everything right so far. He had a good start, and whilst these two riders, Tyler Collymore and Zach Weston, have been trading for 2nd place, McCabe has been looking strong. I think he's just going through into Luna Corner now for the final time. Through the S's, I beg your pardon. There we see, we pick him up now. And now heading towards Luna. He's not really been the centre of attention in this race, but that's to take nothing away from him because he has done everything right so far. We'll hold off too much on praising him because he's still going to bring it home. But so far at least, he's just got to keep it pointing straight in the last half lap and get it home for another victory. He's been on top form today.
Yeah, it's not the first time this year. Harley McCabe has stretched out a lead and taken the race victory in this class. Excellent
We'll look
riding.
for 2nd and 3rd here. They're having a close battle here. We just saw them going past the commentary points, and Weston with a late fight back, so we'll pick those up in a few moments. But Harley McCabe round the final corner will take another fantastic victory. Checkered flag goes out, and Harley McCabe is your race winner. Here comes the battle for 2nd. Collymore's through, but can he hold on? Weston really charging to the line. Oh, that's going to be close, but Collymore just about, we believe at least, because he's dropped to the bottom there getting the verdict.
Crossed the line first, but somehow that's turned him into a 12th position. Yes, McCabe, Collymore and West in the order. And let's see now who comes home in 4th. It looks to be Thomas Bond. It is indeed. Thomas Bond finishes in 4th place. Dan Stevenson in 5th. Ty Butler looks to come home in 6th position momentarily as Ruby Booth and Billy Carter have finished. There's Ty Butler, and we are looking to Joseph Ostiker and George Bowes. Good recovery from him, having still on the grid. 2 more riders to cross the line. That'll be George Wood and Mason Greasley, the first of which comes around now. I said the first of whom, rather, people, rather than objects. And a few replays may or may not be forthcoming. There we go. No, just the Alpha Live logo. I gave you that reminder to like them on Facebook, but they thought they'd flash up their logo a couple of times as well, just in case my convincing words didn't do the job. That was your Funbikes / M2R Junior SM90 Bambino class. Next up are our stock 140s, Group B and A.
Just to recap with some of the highlights here, and this really was the main feature of this race, the battle between Zach Weston and Tyler Collymore. Here we see again Daniel Stevenson and Thomas Bond. They had a great battle there on the edge of 3rd place. Bond eventually taking 4th position, but the man of the race was the number 7 of Harley McCabe, who took the checkered flag, and a well-deserved race victory. Really has been his day today, dueling to the line for 2nd place there from Tyler Collymore. But the man to beat today has certainly been